Hey guys, hope you guys doing good today. Here we are in our studio in 4 ways doing some video content for our students. It's never enough content. For me, this year is all about sharing knowledge, empowering people, sharing my journey and my story so that someone else who's been in a similar situation like myself will get inspired and hopefully finally do something and change their life for better. Now, today I'm going to talk about 3 things that I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. Now, why of all the people Robert Kiyosaki? I met Robert Kiyosaki 2014. I remember 2014 in person. We spent some time together talking about property. His amazing book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And here's what I learned was stuck with me for a long period of time. Because at that point when I met him, my successful journey in property started. I've been investing for the last 15 years, but first 8 years, pretty much 8 years, unsuccessfully. I tried to do this by myself and read that book, and then something started opening up in my mind and I learned how not to do things. Number 1, your property is not an asset until or unless that property is putting the money in your pocket from the moment you buy that property, or unless it's fully paid off. Why? Because you bought that property, you signed that agreement with the bank to pay this over the next 20 years. A lot of things can go wrong in the next 20 years. Another COVID could happen, you might lose your job, your company might go bankrupt, you won't be able to pay for that property. Your property is not an asset until it's fully paid off, or unless you have money coming in your pocket from that first month of buying it. That means if you rent that property, you need to see the money coming in your pocket. We call that a cash flow. We teach different strategies how to buy property below market value so that you have a cash flowing property. The money is coming in your pocket from that first month. Number 2, do not rely on your degree. Knowledge is great. So many knowledgeable people in the world, but applying that knowledge will take you to the next level. Not you talking, not you having degrees, using that knowledge and eventually doing something with that knowledge. If you read the book, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you guys remember, if you didn't read that book, highly recommend go there and read it. It's going to change your mind about property, investment, assets, different things. He had 2 dads, he liked to say. He's got his own natural biological dad, and he's got another person he calls Rich Dad, which was his friend's dad. So his dad was an average person, hard-working person, working for someone else. After many years of working, he was afraid he was going to lose everything he had, and had that mindset that he had to work hard to make money, that money doesn't grow on trees, that wealth is root of all evil, and all these different things. So when he met his friend's dad, it was a completely opposite person who was saying, hey, he didn't work for money. Money was working for him. He was thinking ahead of time how to build more wealth. He was teaching him that money is abundant. There is enough for everyone. Building your network of people and helping them reaching their goals and dreams so that eventually you can help reach yours as well. So working for someone else for 40 years of your life, helping them reaching their goals and dreams, to me, that's not really ideal solution. Most of you would settle down for that. Yeah, I just need a job, it's stable, I'm gonna work for someone until I retire. But guess what happened? Right now, COVID happened. People losing jobs as we speak. It ain't over yet, right? People lost jobs, companies going back from what? Don't you think it's gonna happen to you? Well, it might happen if it didn't happen already. So it's all about the mindset. How not to work for someone else, but working for yourself, working on your dreams and goals so that eventually you don't have to rely on anyone but yourself. Number 3, what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki is this: don't ever rely on only one income stream. Even Warren Buffett, you guys know Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world, amazing investor, grandpa, I like to call it, right? Even Warren Buffett said, look, if your job is that one source of income that you're relying on every single day, every single month, you're in the riskiest situation ever. Get out of that place today. Why? Because it's one thing. You lose that one thing, you have nothing left. Nothing left. Sometimes you might be too old to get another job. You know, when you're younger, yeah, I'm just going to get another job. No. One thing, it's never a safe place to be. One investment, especially if you're relying on that one thing to cover your life expenses, very risky, right? How long is it going to take? I mean, would you all agree that this might happen to you tomorrow? You lose your job. It might happen to everyone. COVID happens, crazy. A lot of people, comfortable lifestyle for years, all of a sudden forced to be laid off, companies went bankrupt, they end up at home, they don't know what to do. So here's my advice, and Robert's advice as well. Don't ever rely on one income stream. Think about it of alternative investments. What else can I do? Where else can I invest? I mean, fortunately, we have 15 powerful strategies in property that you can learn, that we also teach as well with Riches and Beyond, that if you have several strategies in the same time, you don't have to rely on only one strategy. Let's say if you have one property, if that family, let's say, failed to pay you, what are you going to do then? So you have to have several strategies. Could be a multi-let, could be a development, different ways. Also, options. You need to learn about options. Other people's money, he likes to call. Don't use your own money. Why? Because there's so much of other people's money out there. We call this OPM. There's 10 ways of funding your property deals apart from the banks. We all know about the banks, but what if it doesn't work? What if you don't qualify for the bonds? So you have to use other 10 ways of funding your deals. So when you know these 10 ways of funding, start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, eventually it will work. At least you have options. If you have only one option, that one fails, you have nothing. So these are 3 things that stuck with me, and this is what I'm teaching my students. And follow these principles, and you should be just fine, regardless of any market condition. When you have options, several strategies, you're gonna be fine. So folks, that's it for me today. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day. Wish you all the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.